Did you know that there is a phenomenon capable of shutting down your entire city, or worse, your entire country, in a matter of minutes? I'm talking about solar storms, massive explosions of energy that come from the sun and can hit the Earth with surprising effects. But what exactly are solar storms? They are basically coronal mass ejections, when the sun releases huge bubbles of gas and magnetic field. It may seem like a long way off, but the effects here can be devastating, affecting everything from the GPS in your car to entire communication and power systems. Now imagine this. One fine morning, you wake up, try to turn on your smartphone, and nothing happens. No service, no connection, no internet. It's happened before, and it could happen again. In 1859, a solar storm known as the Carrington Event was so strong that auroras borealis were seen even in the Caribbean, and telegraph systems caught fire. If something similar happened today, the impact on our technological society would be unimaginable. The question is, are we prepared for the next big solar storm? What's more, how can something so destructive be so beautiful at the same time, giving rise to the magnificent aurora borealis that paints the sky green and violet? It seems unimaginable that a storm can be invisible and yet have the power to cause immense chaos. Solar storms, these fascinating and somewhat frightening phenomena, occur when the sun expels an enormous amount of energy in the form of radiation and charged particles. This is because the sun, a constantly boiling star, has a magnetic field that sometimes twists and breaks, launching this energy directly into space. If the Earth is in the path of these particles, our technological systems could suffer severe interference. But how does this actually work? Imagine the sun's magnetic field as an elastic rubber being stretched further and further. At some point, this rubber can burst, and this is exactly what happens on a gigantic scale in the sun. When these magnetic rubbers break, the energy released travels through space at a speed of around 1.8 million miles per hour, reaching Earth in a day or two. The result? In addition to the beautiful spectacles of auroras, which look like a dance of lights in the sky, these storms bring with them the risk of knocking out power grids and disorienting satellites. Let's go back in time to September 1st, 1859, when a telegrapher was perplexed to see his equipment spark and catch fire with no apparent explanation. This phenomenon, which was later named the Carrington Event, was the first documented solar storm to cause a major technological impact on Earth. At the time, auroras borealis, normally only seen in polar regions, were observed as far south as Cuba and Hawaii. The sky lit up to the point of waking up miners in California, who started preparing breakfast, thinking that the sun had already risen. This event is not just a historical curiosity, it serves as an alarm for what could happen today. If a similar solar storm were to occur in the modern world, where we depend even more on technology, the results could be catastrophic. Imagine for a moment that all power grids are shut down, communication satellites go down, and transportation systems are disrupted. This is not science fiction. It is a real possibility based on past events. With our growing dependence on technology, we are increasingly vulnerable, and the question is, how can we protect ourselves against the next big solar storm? Let's take a closer look at this situation. Satellites are not just responsible for transmitting videos or maps in real time. They support critical infrastructures such as emergency communication networks and rescue operations. A massive failure in these systems could result in a paralysis of essential services, leaving hospitals, firefighters, and police officers in veritable communications chaos. The scenario sounds like fiction, but the science behind it is very real, and the risks imminent. The electrical currents generated in space by solar storms can induce extremely strong currents in our power transmission networks. This can overload transformers and substations, leading to extensive blackouts. After all, our modern power grids are not only vulnerable, they are a perfect target for these cosmic storms. And how is a light show, as mesmerizing as the aurora borealis created in the night sky. This dazzling phenomenon is not only a wonder of nature, but also a side effect of solar storms. When the sun launches a cloud of charged particles, known as the solar wind, towards the Earth, this flow encounters our planet's magnetic field. This is where the magic begins. The particles are channeled by the Earth's magnetic poles and collide with molecules in the atmosphere, releasing energy in the form of light. This light, depending on the gases involved and the altitude, can shine in vibrant colors of green, red, or even violet. But what really makes the aurora borealis such a captivating phenomenon is its ability to transform a dark night into a living canvas of celestial art. Each aurora display is unique. Sometimes they dance slowly, like curtains in the wind. Other times they pulse rapidly across the sky. So, as we watch these magical lights, we are actually seeing the visible evidence of the ongoing battle between the solar and terrestrial magnetic fields, a struggle that takes place millions of miles away in space. For the indigenous peoples of the Arctic regions, for example, these lights are full of myths and legends. The Inuit believed that the auroras were the spirits of the dead. For the Sami of Finland, they were signs of the sounds of ancestors. This wonder of nature shows how a natural phenomenon can influence and shape a society's spirituality and traditions. Each aurora borealis display carries with it ancestral stories that go beyond science into the realm of the sacred and the mystical. Visually, auroras are one of the few natural wonders that can really change our perception of the night sky. Photographers from all over the world travel to the far reaches of the Arctic, hoping to capture the perfect moment when the sky bursts into color. These spectacular images help spread the beauty of auroras to those who have never seen them in person, inspiring art, poetry, and even music. But how can we protect ourselves against solar storms, those invisible giants capable of shutting down our modernity in the blink of an eye? Governments and companies are investing in advanced technologies and robust strategies to shield critical infrastructures. One of the most effective measures is the installation of resistant transformers capable of withstanding the geomagnetic currents induced during storms. In addition, real-time monitoring systems are being implemented in global electricity grids, allowing operators to quickly detect and react to anomalies that could indicate an impending solar storm. Another significant advance in the fight against the effects of solar storms is the development of more sophisticated meteorological satellites, which can offer early warnings of potentially dangerous solar activity. With this data, it is possible to carry out preventive shutdowns of sensitive equipment, minimizing damage and maintaining the integrity of essential services such as hospitals and security forces. This combination of high technology and proactive strategy forms the line of defense that not only protects our technological resources, but also ensures the continuity of the population's daily activities. So, although solar storms pose a significant risk, our preparedness and response capabilities are becoming increasingly efficient. Have you considered what you would do if a severe solar storm hit your area today? It's not just about having flashlights or a generator. It's about being truly prepared for a prolonged interruption of power and services. One of the first practical measures is to keep an emergency kit in your home, which includes drinking water for several days, non-perishable food, an alternative energy source such as batteries or a small solar generator, and essential medicines. In addition, it is crucial to keep important documents, such as IDs and certificates, in waterproof and fireproof containers to ensure that they are preserved in case of emergencies. Another important tip is to find out how communication systems might be affected and have alternative plans for keeping in touch with family and friends. Consider investing in an emergency radio, which does not rely on conventional communication networks and can receive emergency transmissions. It is also advisable to learn about basic first aid and have a manual handy, as in emergency situations, medical services may be overwhelmed or inaccessible. Preparing for these events may seem like overkill, but in times of crisis, these actions can make the difference between chaos and calm. Now that you know the devastating power of solar storms and the impact they can have on our modern lives, what will you do next? Don't stop thinking about preparation until the news announces the next big storm. Information is your greatest ally. Start educating yourself today about how these cosmic phenomena work and what can be done to mitigate their effects. Visit the websites of space agencies such as NASA and NOAA for regular updates and preparation tips. Also find out about local emergency plans and join online forums and discussion groups to share knowledge and strategies. In addition to getting informed, take practical action to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Put together an emergency kit, review your communication plans, and consider investing in additional protections for your home, such as alternative energy systems. By taking these steps, you not only increase your own safety, but also contribute to the resilience of the entire community. Remember, preparation today is the key to safety tomorrow. Don't wait for the storm to hit before you take action. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let us know in the comments how you're preparing for the next big solar storm and if you've ever had the chance to witness the incredible beauty of an aurora borealis. Until next time, stay safe and informed.